Hello and good evening. For All Mankind, Season 4, Episode 10, Perestroika is over, and it has been since 2024. But here in 2026 on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. Whether you're joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio version wherever you get your audio podcasts, our mission to watch every episode of For All Mankind continues. One hijacked mission, one political betrayal, and one asteroid redirect that absolutely should not have worked. And now here's the guy who watched Happy Valley turn into a Civil War cage match. I'm your host, Dave Mader. We are, these are all the episodes of For All Mankind that we can watch so far. Although there's a season 5 expected later this year. And we got a great top tier panel here to break down this explosive finale. Coming in first, he's a Union Mon back from Jamaica Mon who's been tracking the Resistance every move on Mars. It's Jeff Mader.
I heard you. I just need a minute.
Well, thanks, Jeff. Welcome back. Coming in here next, if there's a moral boundary, he's measuring who crossed it. If you try to upload some engine override code last minute, he'll give you an opinion, but serve him a bad hotel burger or spaghetti, and then he'll truly lose it. It's Kevin Millard.
Hello, Dave. Yes, I have no patience for bad food.
No, you don't. But you're all here for the good food.
Yeah.
Which, by your own, I quote, all food is good food, mostly. Right? Or I'm adding the mostly part. Okay, well, coming in next, he saw Dev's little Morse code device and questioned whether that would really work in the pinch. If the system breaks, he'll be the first to tell you why. It's Jody Simpson.
You can make a Morse code machine out of anything, really.
Oh, okay.
Such a simple transmit. But anyway.
Confirmed.
Hello,
Smith
Dave.
confirmed. Hello, Jody. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. Of course, he watched them take Margot to jail and thought maybe that is the best outcome. When alliances shift, and in this episode they shift fast, he's already mapping the new power grid. It's Adam Woodward.
Hey guys, I'm kind of happy we get a pause on this now. I gotta tell you, because I might come back liking it more.
Maybe, like we're gonna break all that down, and of course, stylish as ever, she clocked the emotional shockwave the moment Aleda found Sergei's body, or I guess that he had died, and she felt every beat of the unraveling between Margot, Aleda, and Irina. Style meets steel. It's Heather Narduzzi.
Hello, everybody. I am glad to get into this episode because this season has not been our favorite, but there's a lot to like in this episode.
I like the song at the end in particular. I was like, I know the song, but I don't really know from where. It was good. Welcome, Heather. Welcome to the whole panel. We're back together again. Isn't this great? And Adam, yes, I put you through 10 weeks of this season. And even before that, you were kind of wavering. So I appreciate you all.
Listen, I'm happy I watched it, but it's been a grind.
It's been a grind, but you know what? It can't all be good.
It's been a long road.
Sometimes it's got to be bad, or maybe and it's the good stuff that makes, or the bad stuff that makes the good stuff worthwhile. They would say. This is the 40th episode of For All Mankind we were talking about that aired exactly 2 years ago tonight, January 12th, 2024. Written by Matt Wolpert and Ben Nadivi and directed by the Sergio Mimica Gazan. Spoilers if you don't want to know how For All Mankind ends in season 4. Of course, we find out what Sergei's death gets back to Aleda and eventually to Margot, and that starts a whole chain reaction. Irina shows up in Houston just to kind of creep out Margot. There's the hijackers, like them trying to hijack the asteroid, and everything else gets kind of thrown awry. They have to kind of retreat to the North Korean position in order to enact their plan here at one point. The asteroid does eventually end up in orbit around Mars. What else?
Whoever would have a fight in the hallway with 30 people?
That was fun. Yeah, there's a big riot on Mars. People
happened in high school.
Going at it. A gun was shot. Danielle.
Corridors were probably wider, Jody.
Danielle got shot, and for a minute I couldn't remember if she died or not. I was like, did they kill off Danielle at the end of this season? Nope, she makes it. What else? Well, of course, at the end, because the asteroid is in orbit around Mars, we get this flash forward to 2012, showing Dev's still there. They've built a huge like mining operation on Goldilocks, and they played that song that I thought was pretty good, and that was maybe a better part. What else did I miss, guys? Were there any big other things? Well, Miles got his face beat more. He got suffocated. There was all of the
Yeah, his
white
torture
pepper.
was pretty good.
yeah. Everyone thought that was good.
I don't know if it was
Just got his
good.
reaction.
You know what? It just kept occurring to me. This all started with Miles.
A lot of it did, yeah. Not necessarily the plot to steal the asteroid. That didn't come from Miles per se, but and everything with Massey up on the ship, I guess, is the other big like action stuff that we saw in this episode. Massey eventually going fighting in space with what's that guy's name? Palmer.
Deke that
And
sucks.
Deke, the lesser Deke. And that I guess like some of that was neat to watch. I thought, but yeah,
That was very cool.
How was this as a finale for you all? I know this season's been a tougher grind on most of us, especially Adam. But did we like
I
how?
don't think I'm alone on this, by the way.
No, you're not.
Thank you.
No,
You always have Jody and Kevin.
you got me for sure. As for Kevin, he's a wild card.
Well, Kevin, like, was this a bad finale or just a bad season?
Bad season. A good finale can't save a bad season.
True.
Because again, I don't really care about any of this. So like, even though it's an exciting end, who cares? Like, I'm curious what they do with Ed after this. If he's still on Mars, I don't know if I'm even going to watch season 5.
That's what he says. He's
still there. He wasn't in that group, that parade, walking off the plane or off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
no, I don't think he's ever leaving Mars.
Well,
And
he basically said it. That's his home now, right? Like he.
Great, but I feel like they would remove him after this. Like it wouldn't be his
I
choice.
would hope.
I guess what were or weren't the consequences of any of this?
Nothing for Dev. He's out on Mars looking
Nothing
up
for
into
his
the
company.
sky.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Dev has money. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want when you have that kind of money.
Right.
And what are they going to do with Ed? They're going to send the fucking Mars police up there to get him? Come get me.
They have sweater vests.
They've done it several times already.
What were you saying, Adam?
I don't know what they're gonna like. It wasn't the ending I wanted. Like, the ending I wanted was that asteroid to get out of control and smash into Mars. And
It's just the end of space travel.
And the end of Mars.
At the end of
Just
Mars.
destroy a planet and possibly a universe at the same time. But
Can I say somebody that really frustrated me in this episode was Danielle? Like,
Why is that?
She sucks in this episode. Like she like has all these moments where it's just like, why don't you just like back down? Oh, sorry, my orders come from DOD. Oh, we have to do this because, you know, the little blue planet. Like, there's a bunch of moments where like she doesn't stand up for anything. Like,
No.
where like she just kind of just does her job and like, this is what I'm supposed to do. She, you know, and then
she's
what
been
ends
like
up
that for half
happening
the season though.
is but her base ends up becoming chaos because she never takes a stand and really takes control of the situation regardless of duty, you know. So she just drives me nuts throughout this episode. I just don't agree with her decision making.
I was mostly frustrated, like the fact that she like unleashes KGB and CIA man on Miles, but she never really checks like how they're going about it. She never asks any questions. And then when she sees the CIA guy being all brutal, like punching whoever and what, you know, then she goes, "Oh, I had no idea this is what you do." Like, what do you?
Oh my!
I-
This is how things are done.
I object. You know, I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah, the only question she asked was, did you interrogate him? Yes. Okay, good. Did you think they brought him tea and cookies for the interrogation?
Not tea and cookies, but not punches to the face and suffocation. That's a different
And
story.
she doesn't just say good, she says continue. Like
Mhm.
You think two U.S. authoritative agencies would not get onto Mars and go, you know what? We don't have any restrictions now.
Yeah.
Like, of course they're going to. They're going to beat
Ooh.
the shit out of people. They don't care.
Yeah, the whole like this decision to steal the asteroid, and eventually like Margot wanting to help them basically too, because she wants to get back at Irina for Sergei, and you know, and Elena goes along with it here at the end, and then she takes the fall for Elena on that coding stuff, so that she doesn't get she gets her diplomatic immunity revoked, but therefore she's going to go to a U.S. jail, right? Not to a Russian jail.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
she's better off, honestly. Like, isn't she?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
thought they were going to try to take her back to Russia. And,
Well, you would
and-
think that's what they would have tried to do.
right, instead of just
No,
letting her
she's
be
gonna have-
arrested.
She's gonna have an accident in jail.
Well, it's not like there are no Russians in the.
She won't
US
even
prison
make it to
system,
court.
But, you know,
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well,
Like, so-
Irina said there will be consequences, and we all know what that means.
but there were consequences for Irina. Irina, was like, "Hello, comrade," at the end, and I got the her time is up at the end of that episode
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's done.
So she's done. I don't
Another
know.
thing that really bothered me about this is they never thought, all these smarties up there, all these astronauts, and they never thought to check the restricted floors for the
No.
stuff that they're missing ever. Like, oh,
No.
all these
Well,
floors,
that-
where would somebody hide? Maybe where there's nobody allowed to be.
No,
No,
we
yeah.
locked out the elevator. That is unhackable, unbreakable. You know,
Well,
Like-
that's the thing that you were talking about Danielle, but Danielle's not interested in anything below her top level.
Yeah.
no, she didn't even know who Miles was,
She-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had
Right.
no idea who he was.
Not that you're gonna know every single person, but I guess you
Yeah.
would, like, at a base that small.
I
It's
think
not like,
eventually you would, especially when you're the commander of it. Like you are going to be
Well,
walking through.
you would if you
everywhere.
made it your interest to do it. Like all she has to do is walk around the place once a day.
Yeah.
yeah. Like, how many
So-
people are stationed at Happy Valley total? Like,
I think
Fun
they said
fact.
the current one was something like 180 or something like that.
that's it.
Seems like about 200 people. Yeah.
I think you get to know 200 people in that much time.
Oh,
Even if you didn't know them all personally, you would certainly know them to see them. You would know somebody's name.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
maybe not me, but everybody.
Yeah,
else
but
would.
you know what? If you let people,
You
keep
know them to
together-
see them, though, Joe.
I know who they are. Yeah, I know that I've
Yeah.
run into them before.
Like, I always felt like this about Voyager. I'm like, on a ship of 150 people, we should, like, after 7 seasons, we should know every single person on that ship. Like, you know,
Yeah,
especially when,
200.
after people, 200 people total,
200?
right?
Yeah, but the fact is, like, she has this classism on that, and this is part of this
Yeah.
whole season. But like, you don't eat together, they don't socialize together, they don't play games together, they don't do anything other than
Where's
work.
movie night?
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
Enterprise taught us about movie night.
Very important. Movie night is very important for morale.
And I came to the realization during this episode that I think the reason I don't like this is because there's nobody to root for. I'm not on anybody's side. Everybody is wrong.
Yeah,
Everybody.
everybody sucks.
That is true. That is very true about this season.
I
Like,
think
you
that's
can like
correct.
you can like certain characteristics of some of these.
But at the end,
I
I
like,
think
I like
they all
Danielle.
suck.
I like Danielle. Like I like her as a character, but she's not good in this role. Like in this role as commander on the station.
Exactly.
She's a little in over her head, it feels like at times, and not necessarily completely motivated for it, you know. And then everything they have to try to do to deal with like the descent of 200 people.
But
Basically,
it's interesting who they put in charge, right? Because like Danielle, they're in charge of small crews on spaceships, and they're not administrators. And this is very much an administrator role. Like you there's a lot to get going here, but they
A lot
don't
of
know how to do
personnel.
that.
Right. And so somebody even with a military background might have been a better choice here to be the commander of the base.
Someone like
But-
Ed.
No, but Ed wasn't.
Maybe not Ed.
He didn't do it either.
Yeah. Maybe
I'm
not.
not sure
Maybe,
Ed is
maybe
the
someone
better
new. I
choice.
don't know. Like maybe Tyler. I don't know.
Maybe somebody
Um,
younger. Who
Tyler. You know, like I don't know. But he's now.
What's
he's
her
not
name?
Daniel's
The girl that was outside fighting people.
Massey.
Nasty.
Massey.
No, that,
yeah.
well, maybe.
She
Like,
would've been a good
it'll be
commander.
interesting to see what they do with some of those characters because I know that like Miles is back for season 5 in whatever role.
Oh,
Sorry.
I didn't know that.
The
Did
guy
he get arrested?
Spoiled it.
I know Ed's only going to be in a couple episodes, so whatever that means to you.
Yeah, his arc is almost done. Yeah.
You know,
He's
so-
105. Like it's like what, 9 years later now after this? Like,
Yes.
come on.
Yeah.
He's got to be done.
What year is it? Like 2012?
12.
we're
2012 at the
2012.
end.
Now into 2012. Yeah.
And
He was
what?
born in
and-
1922 or something.
yeah, so he'll be like 90. He'll be 90 on Mars. You know,
I'm
as
gonna
you
check that
do.
again because that was
Now-
a fun fact from like season 1.
What was that? Sorry.
You just got to check up
Indeed.
what his date of birth was. What
Oh,
year he was
yes.
born.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we actually had it. at one point.
Now
Still 20.
he's gonna die on Mars, right? Like
Obviously.
Presumably.
that's definitely what's gonna happen.
Hopefully, he
Now
takes
I
his
will
daughter with him.
say I totally
sure.
thought Danielle was gonna die, and I was happy because I hadn't watched this episode, so this episode was new to me. I wasn't like rewatching, so I was surprised that they didn't kill her off because I totally thought they were gonna kill her off.
Especially after all that build up. But then it was kind of
Yeah.
like just her getting shot was enough to bring the crew together, like for them to go, what are we doing? Like someone shot Danielle by accident, you know?
Oh my God, a gun went off. I was just braining this guy with a club. That was okay. But someone shot a gun up here.
Oh no, it's none.
a North Korean gun. And it
guy
says
that-
right on it.
I love how
Well,
how the camera panned by the CIA guy who's threatened his wife and kids.
Yeah.
And yeah, like if that he just stopped, he was just like it made no sense. Like, you know, like I
guess the idea is like they all respect her so much that like even the idea of her getting hurt would be enough for them to come to their senses. But I don't know. If anything, her getting
If
shot
they
would
do, they didn't show us that.
her getting shot might have been enough to create even more of a riot. Like, you know, because the
Yeah.
people who were like more
Yeah.
loyal to her would be like even more incensed, and like that could escalate things even more. But that's
The
not the
fact-
story they told.
I just she should have been killed. Like the fact, like I remember when I first watched this, I'm like, she didn't die. I was like, what? That's bullshit. Like I was so
She
mad.
was coughing up blood, man.
All
It's
that-
like tradition.
all
We
that
kill somebody
foreshadowing
off at
for
the end of a
nothing.
season, you know, and no one died in this episode, right?
So
Like
he'll
No,
be 81 in the show. He was
What's
born in
his name died
1929.
last episode?
1929. So by 2012, he's 89. Okay, well,
Yeah.
and he's living on Mars in like 1/3 gravity.
We're probably
for
going
all
to see
those
him, and he's going to
decades.
be like a hippie on
Smoking up all the time.
Like
He's
there's no way he
smoking
can go back to Earth. Like, there's no way he would crumble. Like, you know,
Yeah.
after that much
That's
time.
how they'll keep him there. Yeah.
I think
they'll-
they're going to
yeah.
put him into Danny's the place where they put
Pod?
Danny. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
where he's going to go to finish his life.
I could have
Oh.
sworn there was also a scene that was like taken out here where like Kelly got mad at Ed for using her son to like for the heist and all that in order for them to get the stuff. But I feel like that was not in this finale, and I seem to remember that part of the
I think
episode.
so.
No,
talked about it,
she-
I think.
she's a
Okay,
Baldwin. She thought that was totally cool and acceptable.
She's like, I wasn't teaching any bicycle lessons. It's
Well,
fine.
she is adopted, but let's get into it. If we're all ready, and talk about the greatest season for all mankind, the ending that we ever saw. So,
Oh, we're doing
that-
one again.
doing what?
We're doing season one again.
No, not one.
Oh, okay.
Guys, we start off here 2 months ago. If you remember in season 3, they buried the North Korean Lee's gun here under the sand of Mars and marked it with a tire iron. And it was eventually found by this Helios guy who came across the marker. Everything coming back here. Tuttle, I guess, was his
I'm
name.
not sure if I'm driving around Mars, I'm going to be able to see that.
Well, there's not many there's no like man-made stuff really,
No.
right? So I
Right.
guess anything like this would really stick out maybe, but anyway, he pulls it out and what does he discover? It is a gun, which the inscription on the gun says protect the leader at all costs. An interesting inscription considering Daniel gets shot with this gun by the end of the episode.
Uh-huh, symbolism.
Yeah, there you go. But
See, this is again, you know, you don't have the gun, nothing would have happened. You know, guns don't kill people.
Yeah.
Come on.
right. Well, even them burying it, and then they never came back. Like Kuzi and her never came back to this and say, "Hey, remember that gun we buried out there? Maybe we should like deal with that."
Yeah, because he's dead.
Why do they have to do this for the gun anyway? Why would they need to ever come back for it? Why didn't you just bury it?
Because somebody could find it, Jody, and then take
How'd
it
they
back
go
to the
find it?
base. He just found it.
It's
What do you mean?
literally a big sandbox.
Oh my god!
There's
I
like
couldn't
a
even
pipe
find my
sticking
damn
out
Am I
of the
card.
talking to us?
Sandbox.
Am I
That's
talking
why
to the sandbox?
I think what Jody's saying is, why did they mark it?
Yeah.
Like,
So presumably so they could come back and get it because they didn't want to take
Well,
it with
what?
them at the time.
Yeah, I think it was the main Korean guy. What's his name?
Lee.
I imagine it was him who did it.
No, it was like I remember this is a
No, this
scene
was
we
a
watched
scene originally,
Oh.
in
yeah.
season 3 where they find the gun and they bury it, and then they
Who
just
buried
left it
it?
there.
Who buried it?
But Danielle and Kuznetsov,
Oh, okay.
right? Remember like Lee had the gun on them at the end of season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they eventually they commandeer him, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna bury the gun. When
So you're telling me another decision Danielle made that came back to bite her in the ass?
yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
Like the
Oh,
gun that
probably
she
the
buried.
chest.
No, sorry, got shot her in the chest.
Great astronaut, terrible commander.
Like, yeah, or at least take the bullets out. I don't know. Anyway,
They could have taken apart the gun.
yeah.
Keep the
Well,
firing
this,
pin in.
Yeah, literally take apart the gun and throw pieces in random directions. You'll never need to worry about it again.
there you go. Well, anyway, the guy who found it, he wants to collect it. I guess he hides it in his like storage unit here, in his bunk. He's like a Helios guy, and that is the teaser for the episode. There's a gun in the base, which is, I guess, not standard.
Which is a good premise, I think.
Well,
okay.
it's Chekhov's gun. If you see a gun in the first act, it has to go off by the third act.
That's right.
Like, remember, like in season 2 when Sally Ride had the gun on Ed Baldwin, not to fire the missiles and everything else. I guess they maybe reconsidered having guns in space after that. Maybe,
Yeah,
but,
exactly. We've learned already. Do not fire guns in space.
yeah, not, or even on a planet like Mars with no breathable atmosphere. Anyway, so that is our teaser for the episode, and after the credits, we start here on Mars. We looking from space at Mars, and we see this little dot in the distance. As we zoom in on that dot, we see that it's the asteroid Goldilocks headed towards Mars, being pulled by the Ranger 2. This is not the same ship, I guess, we saw in the premiere. This is a second ship, the next generation of Ranger ships, as it's pulling the asteroid along, and we move into the ship to see the cockpit, the bridge of the ship with that commander guy, and
So wait. So they're pulling in this scene,
Mhm.
and then they fire up the engines and push it. But how do they push it when they're pulling like those cables aren't fixed? They're not you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so somehow the asteroid's turned around to face Mars, right? Or
I
maybe
know, but-
Mars. Maybe it's Mars that moved. I don't know, but
No, but what I'm saying is that if this, oh yeah, wait a second, the ship must flip.
it's or maybe
Green.
maybe Mars flips, like maybe because Mars is of course on its own orbit, and so perhaps I don't know because
Yeah, but the perspective would still be the same.
I don't know. These are not questions I can answer. But we move into the ship, and Massey is looking at because the heist is still on. She's put the new discriminator in, and we see that it is seemingly working now. Palmer is always looking at Massey. For months, they've been up on this spaceship waiting for this to happen all here. But his main job is here. And I think at one point he says, like, I'm going to leave. Make sure you watch Massey. And then this guy's job is to watch Massey.
So during this scene, I'm not going to lie, I totally didn't realize that he was in on the plan. So I'm like, why is this guy creeping on her all the time? This is
He's in on the plan?
Yeah, he is in on the plan.
I don't
he?
think
He
I don't
has
think
to
so.
be. He's watching her do everything.
No, I think he just I think he's maybe a little
I
sweet
got
on
the
Massey.
impression he knew what was going on.
No, I got the impression like, I'm not gonna watch you, Massey. You're my bud. You know, like I don't need to worry about you. Palmer's paranoid. That's what that was.
Because
My
to me, it looked like he was staring at her the whole time.
well, maybe. Anyway, which she just smiles back at him. Meanwhile, I guess they're getting ready to do the next stage here down to Happy Valley. It's 2 hours until they're going to do what's called the burn, which is when they're going to try to put slingshot the asteroid around the orbit of Mars towards Earth. And they're not quite there yet, so they're getting prepared here. We see Dev. He's right there in mission control, ops comm, with Danielle, but he's got his little Morse code detector sender that he can send little signals down. We go through the first level, down the second level, the third level, or I guess this third level, and then eventually down into the fourth basement here, where it's just where the little heist crew is working here, receiving their Morse code signal, and then this lady translates it and hands it to Ed, who's kind of running things down here. So they're excited to get their mission on, which is going to be to burn the engines longer so that they can bring the asteroid into permanent orbit around Mars. Guys, it turns out Lee didn't kill the North Korean commander as I thought last week. He only like put him in a sleeper hold basically, and then but he did hurt him quite a bit. He didn't kill him, but he's not necessarily going to do well without medical attention. So they're deciding what they should do with him. Should they bring him to the doctor or not? This guy doesn't like the idea because he saw his face, but they can't let him die. So Lee eventually decides, okay, I'm going to take him, the North Korean guy, back to the doctor, knowing that the doctor's their friend and maybe he can kind of keep things on the down low, at least for as long as this is going to take. So Lee's going to do that, and this is where Lee and Ed talk a little bit about, like, hey, it's going to be fine. I hope so. And this is what I don't think they say this. This is where my home. This is my home now. Maybe it's that scene, but
I think they did that, and then Lee.
I don't think it's here. I think it's a little later.
It's later.
Okay. Is it later?
Meanwhile, let's check in with Miles, who we said last week we enjoyed watching his face get beat in, but this is getting a little excessive, everyone.
Doesn't mean I can't enjoy it.
So the CIA and the KGB are working over Miles, who refuses to give them any information. They've been tying him to a chair and punching him, but he hasn't broken. He hasn't given up his compatriots here. So then they hook up like a device here to lower the CO or to raise the CO2 in this specific room, so that he'll get hypoxia and whatever else you get when you don't get enough oxygen. And they're able to, they put on gas masks in order to survive all this. And like, give us a name, tell us who your crew is, where are things happening. And I don't know. This is this would probably not pass the Geneva Convention, if you ask me. But
we call them suggestions here in Canada.
All right.
And Geneva is very far away from Mars.
Yeah,
very far away.
Matter.
Yes.
I don't even know where it is.
Not on Mars.
Switzerland.
Yeah. Jeff, how did you feel about this authoritarian crackdown of the intelligence community?
I was like, what is it? Is this set in like 2003 or 2?
Yeah.
What is it with that time period? No matter what timeline, some authoritarian shit goes down.
They're also fans of 24 and Jack Bauer. So it's what they're like, this is what it takes.
Yeah.
I do love that it didn't work.
Yeah,
the torture didn't work.
This isn't what makes him break. It's only when they threaten his wife and kids, which maybe they should have led with, honestly. But
even Jack Bauer figured that out.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's a little rough here on Miles as he's not getting enough oxygen. He eventually throws up onto Mr. KGB's shoes, which he does not like, and he starts beating up Miles even more here, wiping it on him, and they're just, come on, give us some info. But anyway, not a fun day for Miles, but he's holding on. Part of the scene. We then go over to Houston. We're here in Margot's temporary office. She slept on the couch all night. In her office after her delicious burger she had in the previous episode, presumably, and she's interrupted.
Ketchup atrocity.
Exactly. We have this aide here who's been sent on behalf of Eli. Eli wants to see her right away. Okay, can I get ready for the day? But he says no. Like, Eli needs to see her right away. And as Margot makes her way down to Eli's office, who is there but her old friend, Irina. Hello, Margot. Margot was not expecting to see Irina, knows that this is probably not a good sign, because the whole point of Margot being here was she was supposed to be a representative of the Russians. But, there's some intimidation here. Eli, Mr. Oblivious, he has no clue what's happening in this at all. Irina's like his new pal. He's like, Irina's the best. She's like, even though she snows him all the time, and he's very good at getting what she wants out of him.
Snows him all the time.
Yeah. Anyway, some tension here. Margot does not yet know about Sergey at this point, but she's not feeling too great that Marina's here, and what this could mean. Meanwhile, then, but she at least knows enough that it's not good. Irina's here. Once Margot makes her way into Mission Control, she eventually signals over to Aleda. And when they start talking, she says, Irina's here. I need you to talk to Sergey and get him away from here. Like, he's in danger. You need to make him leave and get out of the area as soon as possible. And Aleda also mentioned she hasn't been able to get hold of Sergey for at least the morning, if not longer. But Margot pleads with Aleda to do it in the middle of all this craziness.
This is a big ask from Margot, and also like Aleda can just leave work in the middle of this super important mission.
World changing mission.
Gotta go see a guy about a Russian horse.
Why? What couldn't have Aleda maybe called her husband? Hey, would you mind hopping by the hotel and tell Sergey? Something like that, right? Because he may be.
Or and here's a kicker. They identified the guy to begin with, so they already know that he exists. Why didn't you guys just call the actual hotel and leave a message? Call us.
Yeah. Well, any of these. But anyway, Aleda has to go. So there's only an hour and 39 minutes until the burn is scheduled.
Yeah.
Anyway, back on Mars, we got Danielle getting her crew. Let's find out where that stolen equipment is. They're still worried about the sabotage, and they don't quite know what Ed and all them are up to. They don't even know it's Ed yet, and Dev, but they know something's up. So they want to find that equipment. The security people. This is where she tells the CIA guy, keep interviewing Miles and making sure
interviewing.
Yeah. So far, he hasn't given up any information. So, but never inquires on the specifics. She's dealing with the KGB. Come on, Anyway, so the security personnel, they're tossing the base again. They got sweater vests and they're ready to use them. They even there's this order to confine all non-mission essential staff to their quarters, which to me this is where they really should have figured out who was up to what. Because once you confine everyone to quarters, who's not in their quarters is probably who you're looking for. But who am I? Police work is not my vocation.
Maybe it should be.
Maybe it should be. As the sweater vest people, they're ready to start cracking down on the people taking their food away, and even taking this guy away. It's trampling on his rights, and the tensions are really starting to rise here between these crews, the security staff in particular. Why do you get a sweater vest? Ilya, a guy from Russia. He's like, this is very authoritarian. They pull out their little billy clubs and they start beating that guy with it too. Meanwhile, they start searching all the different compartments, all the crew quarters, and then one of the security guys, this guy, he finds that North Korean gun that was set up in the teaser, and he's like, I'm just gonna steal it from this guy and keep it for myself. Everyone keeping guns.
This is the whole stealing drugs to steal drugs, right?
Steal drugs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who's gonna call you out on it?
Yeah, he decides he wants it now, and he's not gonna report it either. Yeah. So we'll come back to that. Back over the Great Travel Inn, where Sergey was staying.
Hey, they got free internet, Dave.
That's pretty good for 2003, isn't it?
For a motel too.
Yeah. Anyway, so then Aleda shows up. It's a stormy day here in Houston when she comes over to the motel. I guess she didn't know what room Sergey was in, so she goes to the front desk here and she asks about Sergey, and then the front desk lady says, oh yeah, I think he was Swedish or something, but he was always nice, but that's so sad what happened to him. And Aleda finds out
very happy to tell her it was off-putting.
It was
yeah, that happened to her.
My favorite character in this episode.
Yeah,
5 years.
Very excited.
Yeah, she was very forthcoming about it all for sure.
Awful thing.
Oh, awful thing! What happened to him? When did this happen? Like last night?
Last night.
Yeah. Anyway, so Aleda gets this
There's a
news
lot of
that
murders at that motel.
he
Yeah, they're
shot,
like,
shot himself.
He was in the killing room.
Yeah.
Our third this week.
Yeah. That
Aleda
caution tape was already there.
She looks up at the upper level of the motel here, and she sees, I guess, where Sergei's room was.
She's like, why did they decorate for Halloween already?
I thought it was interesting that they barricaded the window too, but with the yellow
so you
tape.
don't cross by going in the window.
You don't go as you do. So
You never climb into windows, Dave?
not in motels, but that's just me. Anyway, so Aleda, stunned by this whole thing, she gets in her car, and then she has this moment where she really like breaks down in anger and sadness and everything else about what's happened here. So
I thought it was a really good choice to show that scene and the scene where she tells Margot just like with no dialogue and just music. You know?
Everything's silent.
Yeah, just let it on the screen
Except
there.
if you're a deaf guy like me and you had to put the subtitles on, because it actually does say a couple
It
of
says
things.
screaming, yeah.
Screaming, and then it says fuck.
Yeah. I watch with the subtitles too.
Lots of expletive-deletives, as they say.
Mhm.
Okay, back at Mars, KGB guys still working on Miles. They've decided that the air can be turned on again. The torture is not working. They give him some water for briefly here. Then the CIA guy comes in. He's like, he's not playing Mr. Nice Guy anymore. I don't know if he really was before, but now he's going to go after the family. He's like, he knows all about Miles' little Mars gem smuggling import-export business. I think he refers to it as. And he says, we found out about your wife. She's been receiving those Mars rocks. She's an accessory to your thing. She's looking at 5 years in jail for this. Except all these kinds of things, and that they're going to put their kids in like child custody or something like that too, protective services. So Miles doesn't break right away, but eventually he starts going after the CIA guy. He falls down, lands on his face. He's kind of really having a low moment here. But again, like I think the hardest part of this was like we don't like Miles. Like,
I don't care.
I don't think we like. It's not that I like what's happening to him here, but we never really got on his side. I feel like enough in this season, so I feel like this doesn't land as much as it should. But because he's not a hero, right? But he's not.
When was he introduced at the beginning of this season?
Yeah, first episode.
Yeah.
God, it feels like it's been so long.
I know.
Right.
Really, that was the beginning of the. Yeah, man.
He wasn't in any episodes before this season. So
Wow.
No, and I remember when we were reviewing the first episode of this season, the collective feeling was, are we supposed to care about this guy? Because I don't.
Turns out, no.
Yeah.
Turns out that never changed. Because we were talking last week, like he was kind of based on like Miles O'Brien in some ways to be the everyman, to be like the most relatable character, but in a lot of ways he's not. He feels
no
like
Miles O'Brien. That's for
he
sure.
feels more like he's more relatable to like I guess like a gangster character, like more like a Henry Hill or somebody like that who came.
Henry Hill. Miles Dale could never Henry Hill.
What do you mean?
I actually hear the cops coming for you now, Dave.
Oh, good. Okay. So
too bad.
Miles eventually he doesn't give them any names. He just says they're on like level 4. They're on sub level 4. So up here we see Dev in mission control. 54 minutes before the burn is scheduled to happen. He sees all the security people mobilizing and they're getting ready to go down. I think he even overhears people saying like they're on sub level 4. And he has to quickly scramble here because they figure out that they've hacked the elevator, all that kind of stuff. So they're headed down. So Dev works quickly here to send a little Morse code message down to them, saying "Mayday" is the message that he sends. Get the hell out! Like they should have like I don't know. I guess they didn't have much time here. I'm still confused on how they got away. Did they just take
Scatter?
Scatter, but they catch that other guy somehow.
He was hiding behind like a piece of ductwork or somewhere.
Yeah, he just picked a bad hiding spot.
He was probably
His
outside
feet
having
were
a.
sticking out from under it.
He's probably smoking a roach outside.
So like that would have been good. Like this guy's just bad at hiding. But they only have like I guess a couple of minutes of that to get the hell out of there before Danielle and the security Gestapo come in to search around. Eventually finding the other ops comm, basically explaining everything they're doing. Like, you know, I think I might have tried to grab like their computer or something just to maybe not so they're not on the track here, but they guess they didn't have time for that.
Or at least like log off.
Yeah, log off. But you can clearly see like exactly what they're doing and even what their plan is, you know, here. And so Danielle sees this all play out. Back on Earth, this news gets relayed to Irina and Eli, who are not happy. Eli's like, don't they understand what we're trying to do here? We're trying to change the world with this asteroid, but also money.
Oh,
And they're just interested in money. And that just made me laugh so fucking hard. Like,
yeah.
Like the other countries are not interested in the wealth of this fucking thing.
No.
But we're trying to make some money here. Come on, like these selfish Helios people.
I do not want to go back to robbing houses.
Exactly. Irina is she's so sickened by the whole thing. Like we have to stop this. We have to stop them under all process necessary. They find this guy, whose name I don't know. He's like, so they take him to be interrogated along with Miles. This is where CIA man, he starts like getting really aggressive with him, choking him and, you know, everything else. And maybe, you know, and this is where Daniel's like, I had no idea you would resort to such brutal tactics.
They
would never do that.
No. They would never do such things. And
their goal isn't to get the information regardless.
She tells this guy, you know, to step off. We find out where Ed and all of them went. It's to the North Korean section, where Lee has to tell off some North Korean guys here. Like, what are these foreigners doing here? He's like, quiet. I am in charge. My Commander Cho is ill, so I am in command. Return to your station. So they seem to accept that.
I don't know. I'm almost positive that neither one of them would actually have done that, because like they're an oppressive society that basically follows rule and that's it. Like,
well, remember Lee's a bit of a celebrity in their culture, right? And you know, because he was the first man on Mars.
These are like two peons, man. I don't think they're going to be doing that.
I think they're going to do whatever he says in this scenario. So they agree. You know, Lee's working with all Ed and the dev and all the crew, and they're hiding off in North Korea, which I guess is what they figure out. What are they going to do? They know. Is this where they're already writing the telemetry here or the code?
I think right now they're finalizing the final burn. I don't think they're actually doing the code.
Why are they finalizing it like within the hour of this happening?
I don't know.
There's this Poindexter guy who looks like a cartoon nerd to me.
I don't like him.
Not even a real one. But anyway,
with the code and the Glaven.
Exactly.
Hi.
More like the Simpsons. Professor Frink, like the real life
Frink,
version here. Yeah. Anyway, this is when Aleda then shows up. She knows she has to tell Margot, and she's like, "Hey, Margot, can we go to your office?" Well, it's kind of an important moment. Like, come on, let's go to your office. And then this is the scene we were talking about where she closes the door, and we don't hear the conversation between Aleda and Margot, but we see the reaction.
Yeah, the only thing my captions told me was, "What?" That's all. That's the only thing that was.
Yeah. And we can see there, but yeah, like this devastating Margot. Her dream of Brazil is gone with
this was sad though. I cried.
Yeah. Especially she sacrificed everything for him to save him, remember? You know? And then
are we all forgetting that Margot sucks?
No.
Guys.
Well, she's complicated. But you know,
I'm with you, Jody.
You know,
she
but again
died in that bombing.
Damn right.
You monster!
You leave Darth Adam alone. You leave him alone.
Hey, sometimes you got to crack a few eggs to make progress.
That's right.
Progress isn't free.
Yeah, progress isn't free. Is that a quote in this episode?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But I think we can all agree that I don't know the actor's name who plays Margot, but she did a tremendous
Ren
job
Schmidt.
in that scene. What's
Yeah,
her
she
name?
does.
Ren
She's a
Schmidt.
good actress to the point where I actually hate her character.
Yeah.
Well, she's.
I'm not sure I'm supposed to like Margot though. Realistically,
You're not supposed to like anyone on this show.
no.
Don't
I have yet
like
to
them too
find
much.
anybody. The only one I like
don't
was
this
pot
season.
smoking guy.
So Margot goes to confront Irina in like public, most basically here at NASA, where she's like, "Why did you do it? How could you do this?" And Irina's like, "You need to control yourself. This is not how we do things in the Soviet Union." But Margot's all emotional.
I will kill you right here, and no one will be able to do anything about it.
Yeah, I have diplomatic immunity, so I can diplomatic immunity. But so does Margot at this point. Anyway, so everyone's watching
Wait,
this.
go back to that last slide. Those ladies are like, "Oh, this is some real shit."
Yeah.
She didn't just say that.
Yeah, they're like,
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah, there were some gawkers definitely in this part of the episode. But Margot eventually says, "Oh, I guess I am being too emotional. Sorry, everyone," and she like walks away. And then Eli's like, "That was weird."
Yeah. No follow-up questions at all.
Yeah,
I get it that his character is supposed to be like the pushover, and that's why all these other countries are like walking over him, basically. But wow,
I'm led to believe he's supposed to be like a smart
common
man,
sense with
but
this guy.
you know, he's like, remember that restaurant we went to? We had the fish and the mashed potatoes. I've been thinking about that all the
Still
time.
thinking about it.
Anyway,
He needs to go back to Chrysler.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did well there.
His talents
Anyway,
are wasted here.
Miles, go back to Miles. This other guy, I should know his name.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, he says, "How is everyone else doing?" "Not good. We've been found out," and they're shutting the whole thing down. It's over. And these two are now in custody here. Blah blah blah. Back on the Ranger. This is where they're getting ready to do the burn. They're now getting the signals from Danielle's OpsCom, so that's all happening now. So there's nothing Massey can do. Seemingly, it seems like the bring the asteroid to Earth contingent is going to prevail as they're approaching the 15 minutes before the burn here.
No, that's 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Oh, right. So it's because I forgot. I thought that they maybe got the call to Massey before this, but the burn already had started at this point. Which
I'm
looked
not
kind
sure
of
if
neat.
these are supposed to be an homage to Star Wars, but they remind me of Star Wars.
Like these plasma engines. Yeah, they're quite something. I wonder where they even built these. Like,
So this is okay. I'm stuck on this. Right, they're pushing
They're
towards
pushing it.
the asteroid, and they
They're
have
pushing it.
cables holding the asteroid, to the ship, right?
Well, I think it's just supposed to stabilize.
Yeah, but are the cables like flexible?
to a degree.
Cable's bad.
But cables are bad in this timeline. Remember?
Well, I guess I just
kill
don't
everybody.
understand why the ship doesn't crash into the asteroid.
Oh, because it's
Well,
pushed up against it.
It's right up against it.
Yeah, it's
Like-
flush.
It's actually holding. It's holding on in the middle.
So
of the
it's
motion.
kind of like how like a locomotive can push or
All
pull
right,
a
all
train.
right. Thank you for explaining that. It's got a coupling. We're good.
Yeah.
It's got a coupling. Yeah.
Anyway, so they're burning here. The engines are going.
Yeah. So you can see the big dome thing in the front.
Right.
That's what's holding onto it. Yeah.
right.
They just-
So
They have way more engines than the beginning of the season.
well, this is the Ranger 2, not the Ranger.
This is the
1.
Ranger 2. Yeah.
So I guess they built this at some point. Anyway, so they're bringing the asteroid to Mars, and the burn could be. It has to be exactly like 20 minutes and 3 seconds. That will bring it to Earth. Any longer than that, and it won't. So they have all thought they've won the day. They're bringing the asteroid to Earth.
Well,
Great,
she's
great.
even like, yeah, Team Earth, yay!
Yeah,
Basically.
Earth. And in the North Korean exiles here, Dev and Ed and the rest, it's where Ed spots this radio, a certain type of radio, he calls it.
Well, it's a radio that basically is like an encrypted radio.
S band? Is that what he refers
That's
to?
probably an
That's
S-band,
what
yeah.
he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that an S-band radio? And there's this whole thing that the North Koreans' agreement in the charter is that the North Korean base can talk to any of their people at any time without any interference from the other nations, meaning that they have a way to talk to the North Korean who happens to be stationed on Ranger right now as the science officer. So they're like, well, maybe we can call him and then call Massey and get Massey to override the engine something or other, like the override basically, so that they can keep the burn going. That's the plan here. So
I'm pretty sure having an external override is probably a bad idea. I don't know who the hell designed that idea, but
I don't know. But they called the North Korean guy, and he then calls Massey into like the back part of the ship. He's like, it's the phone. It's for you. And it's Ed, right? I think is that who's on the line. It's Ed or Dev.
I think it's Ed. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And then, okay, we want you to go to the back of the ship, put a spacesuit on, and go out there and turn off this.
Go hit that lever that they thought was a great idea to put on the outside. It's like having a light switch on the outside of a room.
And
I was really hoping she was going to have to pull it out, quarter turn it, push it.
Oh, that would have been so much better.
And then take a chip out and move it over one slot. I was really hoping for that. It didn't.
And then the Borg show up. That would have been even
better. Yes. And then Massey says, assimilate this.
So Massey goes with this really quickly, like, because up until this point, her criminal exposure has been, somewhat like easier to cover up. But now this is pretty blatant. She's just going to go out. She opens up the hatch at the back of the ship, which they think is just a glitch at first, but then they turn on the camera, and they see that
just turn on the camera.
They see because they thought it was a glitch. Who would possibly go for a spacewalk in the middle of the burn? It's craziness, right? But we see there's Massey going in a North Korean spacesuit that she got from the North Korean guy, as she's heading out there to turn this switch off, and she has to get to this plate. We see her moving along here with, using her tether to go from section to section. She did object to this a bit to Ed, but Ed's like, don't you want to be an astronaut or something?
Oh, God. This right here, this episode and this whole season does a good job, though, of showing how much the rich and powerful don't give a shit. And they will put everybody else's life at risk for their own ends,
for their own gain. Yeah,
they pervert your own motivations. So they like all of these union workers, right? They just want better lives. No, we're gonna make you do all this other shit for us. It happens all the time.
Right, which I think what we're trying to convey in this season,
Yeah.
But,
that is the thesis of the season.
Yeah. Anyway, so she takes off this panel off of the override, and as the panel then floats away, we see it get like how close Massey is to being like incinerated, vaporized.
That was a good transition when that thing went into the flame and bang, it's gone.
Bang! It's just gone in a second, and she's like, "Holy shit!"
How much heat is on her right now?
Apparently none,
because like that thing has to be radiating some good amount of heat.
I guess she's far enough away. It's not.
Well, like it's when she threw that other guy off the ship, Palmer, and he's like inches from that flame, and nothing.
How did he not die? That was the more like almost unbelievable.
You'd think at least
kill more of these characters. We don't like any of them. Kill them.
Kill them all.
We're actually planning ways to kill everybody on this show. It's amazing.
They're teasing us this whole episode. No, almost died. No.
There's arcade buttons on the outside too. Nice.
Stop teasing us with this. Like last week they gave us. Well, I thought it was 2 deaths, but it was only 1 actually. Surrogate.
It looks like she's gonna turn it, Kevin.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was so disappointed.
She tries to pull it, but she's not. She can't pull it. It's not. It's too hard to get out.
There's
so they say,
I'm not taking it.
They tell her to use her
spring on it. That's not allowing it to happen. Like
there's some spring here. So yeah, it's like use your tether, and she's like, "But then I won't have a tether." He's like, figure it out.
Who needs a tether?
Do you want to live forever? Come on.
You wanted to be an
astronaut, bitch. Do it.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
that's what you would do as a leader, or
no,
what you would
it's
do
what Ed would do.
Position.
Ed would like take off
I was gonna say
everything.
there
He'd
is no
make it-
way. There is no way I'm sacrificing my tether. My tether
Adam, I
would
thought
be
you
the
said that's
number
what I
one
would
thing.
do.
Well, I don't want to give all my secrets.
Palmer gets dispatched here to go stop Massey. Like they realize what she's doing, and they're like, "Okay, go stop her, Palmer." So he's on his way. Meanwhile, CIA guy says, "Hey, we're about to invade the North Korean module," and Danielle's like, "I wasn't consulted about this," and he goes, "Yeah, well, you're kind of out of the chain of command."
Yeah,
now.
we
This
didn't
is-
ask you. We're doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we're taking
It's
over.
a need to know, and you don't need to know.
Right.
Mhm.
So Danielle doesn't like that. So she's like, okay, she tries to call the North Korean module initially to talk to Lee, knowing that Ed and all of them are there. And Lee tries to say, no, they're not here. They're not home right now. But she doesn't believe it. So eventually Ed does take the call.
Oh yeah, when they tell her that someone's overridden the elevator, you see it on her face. She knows exactly right there in that moment that it's Ed.
Oh yeah. And he's like, hey Bob, how's it going?
Well, I like how he says,
I
"Hey,
love
Bob,"
she
and
didn't say
just
it back.
rips into him.
Yeah.
She doesn't even acknowledge it. Yeah.
And she's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Well, yeah, because she's like, well, everything's about Earth, and he's like, no, I don't care about Earth. That's not my home anymore. My daughter and my grandson, my family are here on Mars.
So is he
And
gonna just like hold on to them forever now? He's like, you can't leave.
Maybe he'll make a case. But well, I think that there's a case for Alex that because he's born in space and the gravity on Earth is hard on his heart, that he's probably better off here on Mars. I think what
he's a space criminal now too. He can't go back to Earth.
That's true.
The show
And
is
they are gonna have other tight spaces that they can't get into, Dave.
the show really wants to set up this whole idea of a permanent Martian colony, right? And that this is how it was built. This is how it came to be.
Well,
despite
that's
all
probably
these
what
other...
we're getting in the next season, right?
Yeah. Versus right now, it's just kind of a temporary scientific outpost. And it could be, but it could be more. So Danielle trying to warn them, trying to tell them to stand down, didn't work. She's frustrated. She face palms like Picard and Riker.
Because nobody respects her authority.
Yeah, exactly.
With good reason.
What does he say? Yeah, and then we got this is where they're like, my home is Mars, and Lee says, mine too. And words can have no wings, but they can still fly 1,000 miles. That's some kind of saying. This is my, Ed says, this is my home, and he goes, mine too. Yeah. Anyway, so the burn has only got a few minutes left. This is where they're figuring out that what Massey's doing, and they're telling Eli, and Eli's, don't they know we're trying to make money here? Like, come on. What can we do? And they get the Professor
Frank. Always the
here.
last person to know. That would be more and
'Cause
more
he's-
my question.
That's easy because
He is the director, is he not?
yeah, but he's
He's
figurehead.
also incompetent.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I think the season's also trying to establish that somebody with like Margot's scientific knowledge or someone like Aleda would be better suited for the job than Eli, who's more of a politician, really.
They missed a good opportunity to have Joe Pesci show up as like one of the scientists or something. Like that guy. That guy could have been Joe Pesci.
Or you could have been like a Russian mobster and just like,
Yeah.
he's the guy that whacked Sergey or something like that.
Yeah.
But
That
he
would have
would
been amazing.
still have his like American,
He's got to have the hat on though.
like his New York accent.
Yeah, with the hat.
Yeah.
And he would try his hardest not to swear.
And they call him the Yorker. Yeah.
Could be. So anyway,
It's like, shut up with your tangents.
I just know Professor Frink. He says he's going to write a code to override the override or something like that. If anyone follow that logic, chime in. But they think they have a go around here. This is when Aleda notices Margot up in the observation gallery area in Mission Control and decides to go pay her a visit. They have an interesting conversation here, I thought. Obviously Margot sad about Sergey, but also talking about how she sat in this room with Werner. Remember Werner?
Mhm.
And everything with him, and before she knew about all these things, and the
I
advice.
thought this was a really great scene as well. The way they framed it, the way they even acknowledged in dialogue that was where she was standing when she found out about Werner, and they had the same conversation, but now Margot is the one sitting, and I just thought it was really good callback and well written.
Callback, well written, and I thought it was good how she said, Aleda says, "You're not Werner," and she says, "No, but he is part of me." Like he's kind of like there's some of Werner, like I guess guidance, influence, the impact he had on her life is kind of part of her. Is what she says.
I also like that she says he always tried to convince me that he had no choice, but then she says there's always a choice, and
she
that's
had
her sort of taking responsibility for her own choices, right?
Yeah, like she obviously made some bad choices along the way too, right? And maybe not Werner level, but not great. But so this is where Margot says, because Aleda tries to get her to come back and help with this whole effort to bring the asteroid to Mars, and Aleda's like, or Margot says, "Why don't we just screw them over? Like, why don't we bring that help them steal it into Mars as well?" And Aleda's like, "What the hell? Like, let's go for it. Let's do it." So they're going to work on that. The team Ed now has or Team Dev or whatever you want to call it has a new ally on Earth. While Massey is trying to get that whole override thing to work on here, she's got this like whole lever system worked out with like the tether to try to pull it up. She's hooked up at a communications disc thing here so that Dev can get all the telemetry of the engines so that he'll be able to keep them going. And so it seems like Massey's making progress, but now here's Palmer. Palmer's coming. And he's coming at she doesn't see him for a good while here, but he's making his search. I don't think that's his suit.
She's wearing a North Korean suit, isn't she?
Yeah, she's wearing a North Korean suit.
Yeah, I think he just threw on whatever suit he could find, and he's coming. So we see this is okay. This is Aleda and Margot, I guess, working out the code for what they need to do to override it, and it's all handwritten on like yellow notepad. It was
that's how smart she is.
That is how we wrote code in 2003,
right? Yeah. Legal yellow pad. And how it needs to be put in right at the end here. Margot,
she's using do loops. Ugh.
Yeah. So Aleda agrees to do this because there are too many eyes on Margot to actually do this. With the rest of
I can't make up this code. It's in Wingdings.
Wingdings.
I don't know. Wingdings are fun.
This
is then where Palmer gets closer to Massey. Massey eventually sees him coming, and they get into a bit of a fight here. She isn't tethered at this point because she's used her tether to do this whole thing up, but
never give up your tether.
Never give up your tether. Or maybe bring in a second tether. I don't know.
Maybe have two tethers. Yes.
Maybe have two tethers. Maybe that's the lesson.
Then you have a spare.
Having a spare would be good here. Anyway, they start fighting here, and like Dev's just listening, like, "How's it going, Massey?" And she's like, "Ah!" And she's getting like kicked and punched by Palmer up there. They only have 2 minutes of the burn coming up here, and we see that Aleda and Professor Frink, they're putting the code in. They're typing it really fast, as fast as they can.
This can't be real because they'd probably put a semicolon somewhere and screw up the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just lots of typing. I was like, this is your action finale here? Like how fast you can type some code into a computer? Okay. Like,
and then we have a coding duel.
Like people like criticize the podcast sometimes because at the end I bring up a spreadsheet and they go, "Oh, this is not exciting with a spreadsheet for the ratings." But like, come on, this was like the equivalent.
Honestly,
TV episode.
How bored in your life do you have to be to bitch about that? You know what I mean? Like
spreadsheets are exciting.
Exactly.
Why would you care?
I'm not saying I agree with them. I'm just saying that they say.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Though is why would they care?
There's nothing like seeing a great dollar sign at the bottom of your spreadsheets. Like percentage increases.
Oh well, that's what you use them for. I use them for other things. But anyway, so they send the code, but it takes 5 minutes for the code to get there. Right?
5 to 20 minutes actually.
And this is and clearly this is only a minute and 52 left, so it doesn't seem like it would be enough time for their transmission to get
no.
there. Anyway,
No.
it doesn't seem like that,
But they focused on that. They go, we got to get it out.
we have to do it now because they're trying to like
But the burn
balance.
window is not the same thing. They want to stop it before it hits a certain arc.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the burn window. The burn window is something NASA's using to say this is.
But if
the
it keeps,
area that
if
we're
they,
allowed
if
to
the
burn.
engines keep going past the burn window, then it's not. They're
well,
going
it's
to
going
go
to fuck up NASA for sure. Yeah.
right, which is the whole point of this. Anyway, so then Aleda and Margot exchange the look, knowing that they've accomplished what they set out to do. Meanwhile, back on Ranger, this fight with Massey and Palmer continued. Them going back and forth. Eventually, like Palmer kicks her off here, or almost throws her off the spaceship.
And she ends up like hanging onto the bar.
Yeah, I think he thinks he just killed her. I don't think he's even really sure what happened to her.
Oh, I think that.
And he's totally cool with it too. He hates her so much.
Everybody murders everybody on this show.
Yeah. I would have liked, because like later on here where he survives with his tether, I would have liked to even see her bringing him, pulling him back in, them going back in together, the conversation they would have had after all this.
I would have liked to see her pull him in on the tether and then unhook the tether and punch him off the Ranger.
Yeah. And she's holding up this.
I want Heather's way.
Yeah. Massey holding on for dear life here.
Hanging out with you hooligans has made me hope for violence.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, so Massey's surviving. She's holding onto the edge here. Palmer's trying to cut through this tether so he can override all this and get this off here. Blah, blah, blah. 15 seconds.
I did have a thought, and it was a very bad thought. But when she gets kicked off and she saved herself, he was basically trying to kill her.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So when she comes back up and she like knocks him off the ship and he's tethered, I'm like, I'm surprised she even like saved him. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like I get why she did it, like that it's murder, but
she actually gets the drop on him by using his tether against him, by pulling on his tether and like pulling him off there, get him off balance. And then so he goes out here, and I was like, well, no one likes Palmer. Maybe they're gonna vaporize Palmer here and like the plasma.
I was cheering for violence, is what I'm saying.
I would have loved to have seen that though.
But look at that. He's like on the edge of that plasma stream or whatever that is. Like,
if this was a metal plate, he'd already be burning.
Yeah. But Massey just looks up at him like, gotcha.
I just would have left it there for a long time. I guess I wouldn't have killed him, but I would have left it there a lot, like at least an hour.
You're on a timeout, buddy.
Yeah, timeout where you're right up against some plasma engines.
Yeah.
Tell him turns out this thing is going.
No, you're not ready to apologize. You can stay out there.
Tell him we failed. This thing's going to Earth, and you're going with it all the way.
You're going home, boy.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
As we pull out here and we see that the burn is still happening. They've achieved what they wanted to do. Stop the engines, and they're celebrating in North Korean territory. Ed and Dev have pulled this off thanks to Massey, mostly. Partly, and also Leda and Margot.
Yeah, when you think about it, they really didn't have much of anything to do with this.
They
Massey
figured out,
did the bulk of this work.
Like Massey,
They
did
told
do most
Massey.
of it.
Massey is like the hero of the episode, and she basically we don't see her after this, like this point.
I think she was in the elevator scene though, like the hallway scene, wasn't she?
Was she? Like, I'll have to see.
Like
No,
when they
she
return.
No,
Yeah. But in Mars Opscom, Danielle and everyone, they could hear a pin drop, they would say. Everyone's silent. They say, Commander, we things are good. She's like, I know what's happening.
I need
No,
a
she
minute.
said what?
I need a minute.
Yeah,
I
she
gotta
said
go
what I
dye
said at
my
the
gray
beginning of
hair
the
again.
Is that?
She said what I said at the beginning of the episode. She's like,
Mhm.
I know. I just need a minute. I heard you. I need a minute.
Let's go in here. Back at NASA control, they're also stunned by this whole thing. What happened
This
here?
was really good use of silence
Yeah.
as well. It just showed everybody like panned across and there's not a sound to be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Irina's like, how did this happen? What the hell?
Obviously, a major malfunction.
Major
I
malfunction.
love that she demands the arrest of an American citizen.
Oh, yeah.
man, that was crazy.
Right, because Professor Frank here, he figures out that there's been sabotage or something's gone. Immediately, Irina zeroes in on Aleda.
But
And
like,
says this.
that shows how like weak Eli is. Like Eli should have just shut that down.
Yeah, he doesn't really say much, other than like, because Irina says because Aleda says you can't know who did what because you don't have the technical expertise, and she goes maybe, but I know when people are lying, and you are lying, and Eli's like, hey, it's not true, is it?
She is
Aleda?
KGB. She does probably already train.
She's a human lie detector, basically. Arrest her right now. Eli's like, huh?
Eli's like, what's an arrest?
First of all, Eli can't arrest anybody. He's not a cop.
He's a fucking
But,
director.
So he can maybe kick her out of the building.
He might be able to pause a paycheck or something.
It's like he's like, look, I got hemorrhoids. I can't deal with it.
Yeah, they're flaring up right now. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Aleda, you're messing up our dinner date later.
Yeah.
And then Margot says, "No, it was me. I did it. I was the one who, But like, how could you have done it, Margot? You were never at a computer terminal. It's not even possible that you could have done it. But
There'll be consequences.
There will be consequences for you, Margot. For what you've done here. Oh, she goes, yeah, no, that's fine. And Aleda feels a little grateful that Margot's got to take the fall here, so that Aleda doesn't have to go to prison. Isn't that nice? Meanwhile, the news hits of that what they'd done. Goldilocks was hijacked, brought into Mars orbit. Al Gore not happy. He's pissed about the whole thing. He calls an emergency conference. We got that new Russian president. He doesn't like it either. He's pissed off. All of the UN Security Council was getting together over this, maybe making a resolution. Who's to say? But Fox News, Eagle News, whatever they're known in this universe, they're pissed off. Who did? They're criticizing it to hell. But now the asteroid Goldilocks is in stable orbit around Mars, and we see now CIA guy and his security forces are now planning to storm into North Korea still, even though this is over theoretically, right? So Danielle goes to track them down. They have these guns. They're like paintball guns, or what are they?
So this is actually, I'll just skip ahead to a fun fact. This is kind of a fun one, actually. They learned from firing guns on Jamestown Station.
Yeah,
that you shouldn't do that. So they built guns that hurt humans, but will not go through the skin of the ship.
So it's a BB gun.
Yeah, or
it will kill somebody or just hurt them.
It's like a beanbag gun type thing.
Okay. Because in that show Babylon 5, they had like these special guns that.
No, Dave. Nobody knows.
All right.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Just give you another concept about a gun for space.
I've heard this from Adam.
Yeah, that's Star Wars. Anyway, so then, Daniel's like, "What do you mean you're gonna go in there and attack them?" And I wasn't consulted. And he's like, "This comes right from the Department of Defense. That supersedes your authority on this base, Danielle." So she's not.
Does she have authority on this base?
Well, she's the commander of the base.
I haven't seen any.
She's theoretically. So anyway, meanwhile, KGB guy is here, still beating up this guy. He spits in his face. They start getting, he starts working on him, beating him down some more. And then who shows up? But that big Russian guy that works for Ilya, who got beat up by the North Koreans last time, he's here to avenge the day. The Helios workers are coming in, and they, including Ilya. And Ilya was pretty forgiving for Miles taking over his black market business.
This surprised me.
Yeah, I could take it back. You could take it back.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you can come to the bar anytime you want now. Anyway, they're getting ready to come into the North Korean module. Lee puts his soldier guys on notice here. We'll see that in a second here. But this is where Miles says, "I've had about enough of this shit. I think we ought to have a riot. So they're like, let's go take this back and take down these authoritarians as they're getting ready to burn through the door. And this is what Lee says to his guys. The Americans are coming in. Keep them out. We have to protect our territory.
Our territory.
Yes, sir. Let's go. That was good. And here comes Miles. He's ready. He's ready to get some payback, settle the score with what's happening.
He's been carbon dioxide poisoned. He's been
beat up, everything.
They probably had him with like batteries and jumper cables at one point too. So it's like,
oh, it's nuts.
Yeah. All these things. And this is where the whole riot breaks out. They blow through the door. Just as CIA man, all them. This is where Miles shows up, and he's got a pipe, and he's ready to start fighting here. Everyone's fighting fist fights and hitting with objects.
I'm not sure you have enough room to swing a pipe in this hallway.
But man, he swung it.
He swung it. He found
was
that
at the
room.
front. He was at the front of it, so he
okay.
He had got that one swing in.
Because if you see that guy in the back row, go back one there, dude. The guy in the back row there, he's clearly holding some sort of lead pipe or something, but you don't see him swinging because there's no room.
Like
he only hit his own guy.
Yeah, he's gonna probably hit somebody else. Like trying to figure out who's who in this fight would be a nightmare. Who's on what
It's like
side.
a rugby scrum,
Yeah, everyone starts getting it.
Friendly fire isn't.
It's not very realistic. I find it's just like it feels like a staged like TV show fight. Like it should have been a little bit more violent.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine they don't have fight coordinators on this show. But
I'm cheering for more violence.
And I think actually fighting on Mars with the 1/3 gravity would work a lot different in reality, and like it would be not quite like fighting. Remember when we saw Gordo and Ed fighting on the moon? It would be a little bit like that, or at least half of that.
But you know what? They don't have room either. This is it's kind of cool that they did use the hallway.
And then so we see here that Danielle gets in there and Ed, they're trying to break it up.
You stop this right now.
There's this moment of eye contact between Ed and Danielle where they're like, what have we become? What have we let this turn into?
It's kind of the fault of both of them.
Yeah. And I think they're kind of, maybe that's what the look is meant to convey to a certain degree. So they both start trying to tell everyone to break it up. Meanwhile, that guy who stole the gun earlier, he's got it and he's ready to use it. Here's some of that realistic violence Jeff's looking for. And he's pulling out the gun, and just as I don't know who he was going to shoot with it, but then this other guy grabs it from him, and there's a struggle, and then the gun goes off. And who does it hit? Not Ed, Danielle. First she looks down, and she's got the hole.
Would have been better if it went through Ed and hit Danielle. That would have been good too.
She collapses, and then as soon as she goes down, like everyone goes quiet, the fighting stops. Everyone can't believe it. Danielle's been shot. Is she going to die? And Ed starts trying to, carry her, take her to the doctor. This emergency surgery. Ed's holding her hand the whole time.
There's no way she's living through this. Come on. Look at her.
A lot of blood.
As soon as I saw what side she got shot on, I was like, no, she lives.
Yeah.
Right. Because the heart's on the other side. Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know, almost like I don't know. Ed doesn't know if Danielle's going to live through this or not. So there's almost like this thing. When she started coughing blood, I thought she was going to die. But then Kelly shows up.
The doctor's got to be like, "What the fuck? What the
is
fuck
wrong with you people?"
I totally thought about that too. Literally, the entire crew is standing in the doorway watching this.
Yeah. Did Kelly just get back from her science trip?
Probably. She's always late.
She's not a very good mother.
Well, and where's Alex?
Mother.
Where's Alex during all this?
In a vent somewhere.
She just left him in a vent.
No, he's excited now. He learns about vents. He's crawling through the ship.
Yeah.
He's hanging out with the North Korean guy that got choked.
He's on the floor we never got to see.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's stealing more equipment. It's family tradition now.
Yeah.
He's addicted to it.
Well, I guess so. So we pull through here. We look at all the crew members stunned, quiet silence, CIA man included.
How does this guy have a big shiner already? Come on.
Because Miles hit him with a pipe.
Miles hit him with a pipe.
Oh.
We go over to Miles. Miles also, silent and stoic here. and
Just don't care.
he looks down at the blood on his hands and on his pipe, and
He's
maybe
wondering if
That's
it's
the
enough.
weapon. It's got the junction box on that thing, man. Look out.
Yeah.
That's why Buddy has a shiner. He got the junction
Yeah.
box right in the eye.
Yeah,
You'd have more than a shiner. That's potentially going to kill you. You get hit with that. But anyway, so there's everything going on here. We see Margot back on Earth, taken away in cuffs. Which
So what happened here? Like, how did the Americans get her?
because the Russians revoked her diplomatic immunity.
when
so
she doesn't have diplomatic immunity.
So now
because
she can be
she's
arrested
a
by
traitor.
the United States government for treason. And
Well, she'd be treated better.
Oh, for sure.
Treason, not totally sure on that one.
Yeah.
Better than the gulag.
better than the gulag.
Treason, I think, is one of the only things the Americans still have that is automatic kill.
No,
So-
it's not. They don't
It's not
have-
automatic
anymore.
kill. It has the death penalty, but they don't have to give you the death penalty. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
like-
I thought it was automatic.
and they've never executed a woman for treason. Although, no, they have actually. There was one, I think.
I think that they did with
That
the-
couple, right, in the 50s.
Well,
there
you
was
know, in the Salem
link-
witch trials,
I think the Lincoln assassination they
That's
did as
pre-USA.
well. I don't know if it was treason.
killed a lot of women then.
But there wasn't like that a husband and wife couple that got convicted of treason, and like they were actual spies.
They were
for
spies
the-
for the Russians. Yeah.
yeah, and they were both executed, I think.
The Americans is basically based off of that, right?
Right.
Yes.
Anyway, so Margot gets pulled away here, and as we pull back from her going away to the cop cars, we look at the monument from the bombing at the end of season 3, and Margot's name had been burned out here because she originally was on the monument. But
Who burned it? Oh, that's what I want to know. Did Elena?
Elena did this
Elena,
when before she reconciled with Margot.
She did it with a key on her way
Yeah.
to the car park.
Well, if you look at it, it's scratches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can see all the scratches.
Yeah, that was Elena.
yeah.
For sure.
Anyway, then back in Russia, we see what happens with Irina as she comes back to Roscosmos, and all of the staff are kind of looking at her as she walks
Yeah,
into
she's
the
walking
building.
through all the engineers, and they're all just like stopping what they're doing and looking at her.
But you fucked up.
She gets
Elena.
back to her office, and it looks like the KGB is here, going through all her stuff in her office, all her documents.
Putin's back there.
Putin's there. Come out, Morozova.
It's either that or it's Stephen Miller, one of the two.
Yeah, it's Stephen Miller.
Oh, it is Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller.
Wow.
Yeah,
Looks just
Oh,
like
yeah.
it. That's
it
scary.
does. It does actually.
He looks more like Stephen Miller than Stephen Miller looks like.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so back with Eli, he's just reading the newspaper. Leak reveals NASA allowed abuse of detainees on Mars. This is going to be a political scandal for the Gore administration.
This is again would have been a great scene where Gore calls him and starts yelling at him again.
But you know what? You know what's important? Arizona is looking to hand Dallas its first loss of the season. So that's must see.
That is
Sports.
nasty.
Yeah.
Doesn't tell you where it is, just sports.
Well, I think this is that must be football, right?
That's
Or is
NFL.
it-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's December.
Who knows? We're in a different timeline here.
Could be hockey.
Arizona
Yeah,
and
anything.
Dallas. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
First loss of the season though by December in hockey, not likely.
Not likely.
No.
Anyway, Happy Valley. We see this transport comes into the cargo bay. The black market is alive and well still as Lee is here, and guess who's coming out of a cargo container? His wife.
This
And
was
about
a
500
genuine
other people,
surprise.
apparently.
I had forgotten about this story thread, and this was a surprise, and I loved it.
So yeah, his
Why? Why'd
wife.
you love it?
Because he's happy with his wife, and they hugged, and they're happy to see each other. That's why I loved it.
Yeah, but she
This
brought
is
the
the
whole
story I
family.
wanted, though. I wanted more detail about this.
This
would've
is
been
it.
more
I
fun.
was actually sad for you, Kevin, that we only got to see her arrive, and we didn't get any logistics of it at all.
No,
Like how it happened? Like they came in a container?
Yeah.
like anything fucking possibly interesting.
What I
Yeah.
want to understand here, because presumably she's been living in a cargo container for at least a month, right?
With about 6 other people.
With other people. Like this would be gross as hell. Like first of all, it will be a cargo container with no gravity for most of that journey. So I don't know how you go to the bathroom in a cargo container with 6 other people with no
Wherever.
Wherever.
After a week of that,
Let's
like
move
let's see how
on.
it goes. Maybe they have to wear diapers. Like that would be the only solution.
Where are you gonna put the
I'm kind of
diapers
with
in?
you on that. Like, this is what we needed more of, Kevin. You need to understand how this happened.
The logistics of this are even more complex than what they were doing with the space travels and the engines and the direct trajectory.
And you know what else we were missing?
And she gets out of there looking fresher than I do after a 2-hour flight. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she would smell horrible. Well, she would. Like
Well, maybe they washed her and put her back in the crate before they introduced her.
maybe. Well, she's out of North Korea. They got her out of North Korea. I guess Miles came through somehow. Like I don't know how this.
I don't know
oil
how
worker-
that incompetent fool. Could
that is the
possibly
most
do this.
far-fetched part of this show.
Yeah, like this guy who doesn't even understand accessory to like import export of mining minerals and things like that would be a problem. But he can somehow get somebody out of North Korea and then onto a spaceship and then to Mars. Not and several other people. Who are these other people? Are they other North Koreans? It's not.
I'm
It's
I'm
not
guessing
explained.
it's the family.
Maybe it's a family. Yeah.
But,
And meanwhile,
what
back
else is missing. Like they never talked about what Kelly did.
no. Did she find life? I guess not. So,
So, show of hands, who gives a shit?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, she
You're
did
it.
find life. They're just going to mention it for 2 minutes at the beginning of the
beginning of next
episode.
season. Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we don't know Danielle's fate at this point, but we see back here on Earth, she lived. She's got a sling, and she's
Hopefully
alive.
she's court-martialed.
Well, I think she's retiring now for good at this point after this run. I wonder, like, like, remember how the last North base commander had to resign after the whole scandal with the first asteroid and Kuznetsov's death?
Yeah.
This seems like a bigger scandal and
This
failure.
is a little bit bigger.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, but never
Yeah,
mind
that
the
was-
smuggling and the battle and the people.
and
burning up.
the abuse and all
I'm
this
going
other
to tell you
stuff.
right now, I'm not handing my baby over to a lady who only has one working arm right now.
Well, she's
Not going to do that.
she knows she's
She might
mostly
drop her.
she's gonna get close.
Look
I
how
don't think she's
cute that baby is.
well, she's holding with one arm. Yeah. Well, that's Danielle's story. Back on Mars. I guess at this point we're officially now in the time jump section of the episode.
Yeah,
right?
this is now 2000.
Now we're into 2012, and we don't know that quite yet. But we got Dev here in a spacesuit at the edge of that Korolev crater, looking up into space. And then we pull back from Dev here on the surface of Earth,
And
go
they use
past- or Mars, surface of Mars. Sorry.
Midnight Cities by M83.
M83.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good
Great,
song.
great song for the ending part. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that in Mr. Robot, Jeff? Is that where I know that song?
That band was used in Mr. Robot, but it was Intro was the song in Mr. Robot.
Intro. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like intro. Anyway, so they pull back here and we see Korolev crater and Mars. And now it's 2012. And we see the asteroid Goldilocks in orbit now. And we kind of move across the surface of the asteroid and we see all this infrastructure and buildings and lights. And then we see the actual like base itself, and it's massive. This whatever has been built up here in like 9 years is pretty extensive for this mining operation that they built into the asteroid. So that is the end of the episode
And the end of the season.
and the end of the season
And the end of this
And-
podcast.
for a while.
Good. Yes, for a while. I'm gonna be glad that we're all gonna be a level playing field too once we start again. You guys won't have seen the episode.
We won't be like, and just wait till we get to episode 8, Adam.
It gets worse.
Yes. Okay. Well, could you give us a little bit of information and fun facts about
I've
this
got
episode?
lots of stuff to talk to you about tonight. So first of all,
Amazing.
coming back to the music, we also had "Out of Time" by the Stones at the beginning, which I thought was pretty cool. It
Yeah.
was a good opening too.
Mhm.
I didn't get an introduction. Gotta have that.
Oh,
Sexy fun facts with Adam.
Sexy fun facts with Adam.
with Adam.
All right, let's go. All right. So, give me a second here. Sorry, guys. I was just queuing it up here.
So far, not so sexy.
So far, the whole episode, the whole finale is triggered by a tire iron. So we wouldn't have even.
Yes, this is true.
Yep. Let me get onto the good stuff. I went right to Star Trek again because what are the parallels? Let's talk about parallels again. We did that with last week.
Sure. The episode parallels.
But before we get there, let's talk about Danielle Poole. Okay. She's the only original NASA era character still in active command in this episode.
True. Most of them have been killed off, except for Ed.
She has a very calm, clipped communication style that's calling back to Jamestown. So when you think about it, she's been doing that more than most of the people on that ship have been alive or on that station.
But she looks pretty good, considering.
Yep.
She's been going for 30
Hair dye
plus
is
years.
abundant.
She is the sort of moral center of the room. You know, she has the old NASA discipline and etiquette and integrity, but really nobody else does, which I really think is part of her frustration on this station.
Well, she if anything, she's a bit naive with these CIA guys, right? Like I think she's a little bit like, oh, I'm sure they're just doing a nice little interview and it's going to be fine.
This
Well,
is
I don't know
before
why.
we knew. Well, I guess maybe other people knew, but before like the whole world knew the CIA was, not to be messed with.
With her, I think
Certainly
it's
everyone knew
also-
about the KGB, right?
Yeah. The CIA would never do anything wrong.
No.
But she never compromises her ethics. She doesn't lie. She doesn't cut corners. She doesn't play politics. And I think that's the problem. She doesn't play politics. So she has a hard time with this, with, other chains of command and things, undermining her authority.
Yeah.
While Ed is like running rogue for weeks. And to your point, nothing happens to him. He really changed from the beginning of the series, like where he was sort of rule bound, patriotic, very NASA loyal. And now he's like anti everything, anti institutional, willing to break laws, treaties, physics, whatever.
Well, 77 years of active duty will do that to you.
Yeah, the real question to me was like, what were there any consequences for any of these people? Like at all, or was it all just kind of like, because they remember the lady they recalled and they said she had to go on trial in India and everything else? Like, what if the Soviet Union says, okay, well, all the Russians who were part of this, whether they're Helios or whatever, like they have to come back and face justice, and could they stop that? Like, I don't think so. So
yeah. So let's talk about Ed's immortality through this whole 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons. He survived a lunar crash, a Mars crash, a Mars mutiny, a Mars explosion, multiple depreparations, and now a rogue asteroid heist.
not to mention all the radiation he's probably absorbed over the years, going to the moon and to Mars all this time.
He's the complete emotional opposite of Danielle.
Yes.
They're excellent.
Danielle would never mow the lawn in the middle of the night or rip a phone off a wall.
Or hire Danny again.
Danny Stevens?
Stevens.
Yes.
Mm.
To the mob fans of the room, Ed's arc in this episode echoes The Godfather Part 2. He's isolated, powerful, morally compromised, surrounded by loyalists, and losing the people who once grounded him.
So is Danielle's Fredo? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Who's Fredo?
There is no Fredo.
Well, it's not Godfather 2.
Miles is Fredo.
Miles. All right.
Gets beat up.
And then Dev is the closest thing on the show that has a chaotic good in his character.
Chaotic
So
good
he
is
breaks
like
laws, manipulates systems, and lies to governments, but is always in the service of the vision which he wants to achieve.
I would maybe throw Ed into chaotic neutral. Slightly bending towards chaotic good.
And then on Margot, she delivers one of her most important speeches of her entire arc during this episode. Her line, "Feelings might not be convenient, but they are the only way to truly begin to understand the world around us."
I forgot about that line. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me of that.
And Margot and Aleida is the final emotional release between those two that was needed, for years, apparently, to get rid of that, because they've been pretty cold to each other, but also even when they liked each other, they weren't very friendly, like demonstrative or just even kind, I would say.
Mhm.
True. I got some goofs here, Adam. If you want me to just
No,
jump
I'm not
on.
ready because I still got to start out with Star Trek here.
Okay.
So let me just get to one or two. So
Oh,
Margaret's
okay.
big speech echoes Starfleet's moral philosophy. Her reflection on feelings, responsibility, and costs of progress fit squarely in the tradition of Picard's ethical monologues, Spock's logic versus emotion debates, and Janeway's principles under pressure speeches. Its core idea, progress without humanity isn't progress at all.
Mm.
And then, you know what? I think I'll leave it there. That's a good ending.
Do you want to hear my plot holes and everything else?
Sure.
All right. The Russians would not have turned Dr. Madison over to the U.S. voluntarily, like Margot Madison, as she obviously had trade information about Roscosmos for lenient treatment in prison. Well, we don't know if she got. Oh, the Russians wouldn't have let her go to the U.S. Like when they revoke her diplomatic immunity. That did seem weird that they did that. If the asteroid's velocity could be changed to a Mars orbit, even with a surplus fuel in a hastily assembled spacecraft, then there was no longer a deadline. Reversing the velocity and putting the asteroid on a trajectory for Earth could have been easily done later. So the fact that it was like in permanent orbit of Mars was probably not scientifically accurate. In terms of revealing mistakes, when the Mars security forces are preparing their weapons, a paintball gun is clearly visible. Well, I thought it was a paintball gun. It's not a paintball gun. These are presumably low velocity weapons which have been talked about. They are presumably use an air charge for a fire projectile, which will hurt a human but not penetrate the walls of the base. Aleda uploads a course correction to the asteroid near Mars with only 2 minutes left before the ship's burn time change cannot be made. However, radio signals from Earth to Mars take 5 to 20 minutes, depending on the distance between the two planets. So, and then the whole thing where inducing hypercapnia as an interrogation method is a patently ludicrous and is generally too slow to create a useful effect, or if induced, quickly would cause a person to almost instantly lose consciousness and die, as the respiratory system would fail with as little as 1 minute. Furthermore, the screen clearly shows oxygen levels maintaining 20.1%, whilst the carbon dioxide partial pressure continues to rise. This mixture almost always causes the immediate seizures and the loss of consciousness owing to the central nervous system oxygen toxicity. So that probably wouldn't work the way that, as we see it in the episode. All right. Well, that is our.
I've got one more. That's
good. All yours,
yeah.
sir.
The finale's 2012 jump equals a Star Trek style future shock teaser. Star Trek loves ending seasons with a time jump or a charged political landscape or a new frontier opening. And the asteroid in the Mars orbit is exactly that kind of ending. The galaxy just changed moment.
And we all felt it. I really feel it. Okay. All right. Well, let's rate this episode, everyone.
All right,
put our
Dave,
scores.
I'm going to go first because I got to go.
Okay.
As far as I hated this season, I really hated it, but this episode was a decent way to end it. I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay. You are released, sir.
All right. See you guys.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
See you next
Bye.
season.
Hopefully.
All right. I'm on Heather. So how about Heather's score now?
I totally agree with Kevin. I didn't hate this season, but it's definitely the weakest. I did feel that this was a strong ending for my not favorite season. So I'm good with an 8 as well.
8. Jeff, how about you?
I give it an 8.5.
Oh, wow. Pretty positive there.
What about last week, Jeff? You weren't here last week.
I'll stay consistent with everyone else. 7.
7. Well, that was some of us were at 6. Okay. So now we're going to me. Okay. I'll give it an 8.3 for 1983. Adam, you're up.
7.
7. And Jody.
6.
Listen, I'm not that predictable. 8. 8.1.
Oh,
8.1. Okay, so we are averaging an 8 out of 10 tonight for this particular episode. The IMDb score is 8.9, which is a little surprising. With only, it's fairly high. So the audience seems to really like this finale. Let's just, in terms of our averages, so the whole season, all of season 3, we're averaging a 6.8. Not great. Like that's kind of on par with like season 1 of Next Gen or something like that. Whereas you look at like season 1, we had an 8.7. Season 2, we went down to a 7.7. Then we came back up to an 8.2 for season 3. And this is, according to us, the weakest season of the 4, which I don't think, I think is probably true. And yeah, in terms of all those scores there, not quite what the IMDb averages are. Actually, IMDb averages 8.1 for season 1, 8 for both season 2 and 3, and then a 7.8 for season 4. So anyway,
because the people that actually stuck through it and watched it, not because they're watching or doing a podcast, liked it, I guess.
Well, and they might have watched it all in a row, like in a binge instead of a week to week. Who's to say? But that's
how you do that.
How can you not believe something you've read on the internet?
Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you. Thanks to Adam, especially, because I know this has been we've been dragging him through the season 4. But
you know what? It's you guys that bring me here every week. It's not the show.
He'll be referred to now as Darth Adam.
Dark Adam, yes.
His label has said through the entire podcast.
How about Black Adam? We could go with that, maybe. That's an actual character. So, anyway, that's been season 4. That's been 4 seasons. How long have we been doing this? When did we start this? It feels like
March, wasn't it?
March. So it was better part of a year.
April.
Actually, I can look it right up right now.
By the way, Adam, I have that exact same shirt. I just bought it.
We did the first episode on April 7th of 2025. So it wasn't quite a year. It was more like 8 months. It took us to do these 4 seasons. That was
my first day of work at my new job. That was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like your new job more than you like this show?
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Oh, I don't know. I think I like this more than his new job, but I don't have his job, so it's. But I'm happy for you, Adam.
Thank you.
All those
Well,
things.
they pay him at his job, I presume.
No, but this is fun. This is
nothing.
This is
I see how it is.
Monday night. You know what? I get to spend it with you guys. It's great.
Mhm.
He's looking for a raise. I see how it is.
Adam.
I'll give you a 10%
Jody,
raise,
sure.
Adam.
I'm a very
that's what I
emotional
said.
guy. I like you guys.
Of course. So that has been the end of the season. We will be back for season 5, whenever the hell that is. It's presumed to be sometime this year. So hopefully the timing is going.
Word has it September.
September. They shot this like 2
Oh,
years
it's
ago.
done, Dave. It's ready to go.
They want to time it based on when the other.
It's in the can
They're
somewhere.
timing it for something, yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me that it takes so long for shows.
Well, and
to
that's
come
the
out.
problem with all these streaming services making shows now, because they just get to figure out whatever
They all
want to do it.
They all avoid the NFL.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
They all avoid that, yeah, for sure.
Oh, so as soon as the
So do
NFL,
I.
Right. Me too.
except for Star Trek, because they're starting next week. And this week actually.
Nobody watches
Star
Star
Trek is
Trek
not
anyway.
starting this
It's
week.
unfortunate, but it's true.
So this Thursday we are kicking off the new show. It is called Starfleet Academy.
No, not that poster.
Yes, we're covering 2 episodes.
What is this? An episode of Glee? What are we watching?
Trying to get through the
songs.
Which one's Kelly? Which one's Dylan?
I don't know. There'll be 2 episodes we're covering on Thursday. One's called Kids These Days. That's the first episode. And episode 2, Beta Test, is the second episode. So look out for that.
Yeah, it's a beta test, all right.
Yeah, I think I'm on with Adam. Heather, are you on this week with us? No, you can't.
No,
make it, right?
I'm going to a watch party for the finale of Canada's Drag Race to support our very own Moncton Queen, Sammy Landry, who is in the finale. Very, very excited for that. Go Sammy, vive l'Acadie.
I guarantee you that will be a better time.
Yes.
Acadian drag. Of
That sounds
course.
fun.
I would love to go to that.
So fun.
Well, good luck at that. We'll miss you. We'll catch up with you for episode 3. I think Ashley's on this Thursday, and of course Chris Murphy. No one could be more excited for Starfleet Academy than Chris Murphy.
He does love Starfleet Academy.
I can't wait to see his sad face.
We'll see. I don't think you're going to get what you want. We are going to come back with Star Trek The Next Generation reviews, presumably next Monday. And so our Monday episode is going to be Sins of the Father, season 3, episode 17.
Yes.
With,
I am on that one.
Yeah. So look out for that next Monday.
Love it.
And I think those are all the plugs right now. You can check out our Galaxy Quest Star Trek Radio Theater, as well as my recent interview with Rick from Certifiably In-Game. Check out his YouTube channel. It was great. And all the great things here on Live Long Podcast and the United Federation of Podcasts, for that matter. So without further ado, we will sign off for tonight. I think we should go out with a For All Mankind quote. I only have 2. I'm going to go with the longer one, if that's okay with all y'all. We have to do a quick little search here. Yeah. Cool. Okay. We'll see you next time, everyone. Here.
Fuck you! I have been putting up with your shit for the last 30 years, watching you make wrong decision after wrong decision, only thinking about yourself like you are God's gift to the cosmos. Well, I have news for you, Ann Baldwin. You are just a pathetic old man who doesn't know when to call it a day.
That's right. See you next time, everyone. Good night.
Wife here?
Bye.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mato Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.